All right, we live, yeah.
Oh,
All praise to
shalom.
the Most High.
Long family.
God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Uh, it's your brother Ezra being Israel, aka Nat Turner, out of the Order of Melchizedek, STL. I got my brothers here with me. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Levi, Israel, two times. You know what I'm saying? Coming straight out of the STL. Order Melchizedek. Uh, MBK, my brother's keeper. They call me Levitical. But you know, it's always Order Melchizedek till we check up out of this.
Judas, not Iscariot, coming out of STL, Order of Melchizedek, MBK member, my brother's keeper, representing 314, that big four tribe. You know what it is.
All right, so today we got a lesson we gonna go over. It's gonna be called the Introduction into Melchizedek. So what we gonna be doing is we're gonna be going over who, what, who and what Melchizedek is. We're gonna get a thorough understanding. So when we done with this series, it'll be no doubt on who Melchizedek is. You know, we're gonna go over the priesthood, the differences between Aaron and Melchizedek, the differences in who is high priest now versus who was the high priest back then, um, and how this priesthood is administrated and how it is ran. So we ain't gonna take up too much time. We're gonna get right into it. And before we get into this lesson, what y'all gonna see here on this channel is we're gonna always go over the rules and the rules of the Bible to make sure with all I getting we can get some type of understanding, that nobody leans onto their own understanding, and that we make sure that reproof and correction can go forth. You know what I'm saying? So we can establish the rules real fast. So we're gonna open it up with Isaiah 28, 9 and 10.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28. Permission of the Most High in the name of His only begotten beloved Son. Long live the King.
On with the king.
Long live the king.
Right, and it reads on this wise. Whom shall he teach knowledge?
To whom shall he do what? Judas, mute your phone while he read. All right, come on.
Whom shall he teach knowledge?
Uh-huh.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
So you see that? So the prophet Isaiah here is asking a question: to whom shall the Most High teach knowledge, and to whom shall he make to understand doctrine? And understand, when we talking about doctrine, we talking about a a, a doctrine that's sound. You know what I'm saying? No flaws, no errors, no what they call it, bro? No tampering with, tamper free.
Yeah, there's no temperance in there.
Yeah, it's no tampering in this doctrine. You know what I'm saying? So, to whom shall the Most High make teach knowledge, and to whom shall He make to understand doctrine? Come on, and the doctrine is a set of beliefs. You know what I'm saying? So, come on.
Them that are weaned from the milk
Mm-hmm.
and drawn from the breast.
See, you have to be weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, meaning you can't be on baby's food. You can't be a novice in this walk. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High is not going to send a novice out to preach this gospel. You know what I'm saying? So come on, let's keep rolling. And when you get deeper into it, an individual that's considered to be on milk is one who still has carnal ways, but that might be a believer in the Messiah. So understand when he say being weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, you can't be a babe in the Messiah. You have to be able to handle strong meat. Come on.
Verse 10. For precept must be upon precept.
So let's get the definition of precept real fast, so we'll have no misunderstandings on what a precept is. And also, let's get the definition of must, because that's the key word. He said, for precept must be upon precept. So we're going to get the definition of both of these. So it'll be no doubt in anybody's mind on what a precept is and what do he mean when he says must be upon precept. So let me know when you got that, bro.
All right, I got precept. It
All right,
says
read that.
a general rule intended to regulate behavior or thought.
So it's a general rule that's intended to regulate behavior or thought. So when you apply that to the Bible, what's intended to regulate behavior or thought are the commandments. Behavior or thoughts are the commandments. The commandments are supposed to control your thoughts, and it's supposed to control your behavior. Everything that you do and everything you think are supposed to be regulated based on the commandments. And that's what a precept is. A precept is a commandment or a rule of law. But let's look up this word must, because now that we got the understanding on what a precept is, now let's get an understanding on what he means when he says must be. Come on.
It says must, something that should not be overlooked or
Something that
missed.
cannot be what?
Overlooked.
Something that cannot be overlooked. So when we doing precept must be up on precept, that process cannot be overlooked. You cannot skip over precept must be up on precept. So now that we have that understanding and we see that you cannot overlook this process, let's keep going. So precept must be up on precept. Come on.
Precept upon precept.
Uh-huh.
Line upon line.
Uh-huh.
Line upon line. Here a little and there a little.
So you see that? So this is the process or the criteria to start getting what all you're getting, a good understanding. Is first, precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So now let's go to Deuteronomy. You know where we going, bro.
All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy.
I got it if you need it.
You say, what's that, bro?
You want me to bring it out?
Let Levi get it, bro.
All right.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 19 and verse 15. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity or for any sin, in any sin that he sinned, at the mouth of two witnesses or at the mouth of three witnesses shall the matter be established.
So you see that? So understand that everything must be established upon two or three witnesses. And these are the rules of the Bible. And these rules are set up and or put in place so that everybody has a fair and equal opportunity at salvation. Is no big I's and little U's. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is on an equal playing field. And these rules open up the door for what the Bible calls reproof and correction, no matter who you are. No matter whether you the president of the United States or whether you some bum living out on the street corner. You know what I'm saying? These rules or keeps everybody shoulder to shoulder. And no matter who you are, you can be reproofed and corrected by anybody. That's what these rules allow. But see, when you remove the rules from the Bible, then it's a free for all. Anybody can do what they want to do, and anybody can twist anything the way they want to twist anything. And then one individual can rule over another individual. You know what I'm saying? But see, when we put the rules in place, no matter what position that you play in the body of the Messiah, you can give reproof and correction, or you can get reproof and correction when we apply the rules. So, all right, what we doing next with
We had 2 Corinthians chapter
Corinthians?
13.
All right, come on, let's get it.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 1. This is the third time I am coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established.
So you see that? So every word is established upon 2 or 3 witnesses. That's there I go again. Everything is established on 2 or 3 witnesses. So when we going forth and we preaching this word, we have to make sure that we are producing 2 or 3 witnesses to establish a matter, and that anybody else that comes in is producing 2 or 3 witnesses to establish a matter on the same subject matter pertaining to the and I mean, yeah, the same subject matter, same topic. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we roll, that's how we get down, under the order of Melchizedek. Where Christ is the high priest. He sit on the right hand of the Father, and that's what we're gonna get into today. Today we finna get into what's called the introduction of Melchizedek. So we're gonna be going straight through the book of Hebrews just to get the introduction. We're gonna hit like 2, maybe 3 chapters, and then we'll call it a night, and then we'll come back and we'll hit 2 or 3 more chapters. So today we just gonna hit chapters 1 and 2, possibly 3, depending. You know what I'm saying? But this what we'll be establishing. We'll be going through what Melchizedek is. So everybody will have a clear and perfect understanding on what Melchizedek is by the end of this series, most high willing. So with that being said, we're gonna open it up with Hebrews chapter 1.
Okay, family, this is the book of Hebrews,
And
chapter
Julius,
1.
you gonna be my preset man or my second witness.
I got you. I got you.
All right, cool. All praise.
Right, family, we in the book of Hebrews, chapter 1 and verse 1. And the reason is why. Yah, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
So understand that what he's saying is that God, in at many different times and in many different ways, spake in the past to our ancestors by the prophets. So this how he used to speak. He would come to a prophet in many different ways, whether it be dreams or in visions. And he will relate a message to the prophets, and the prophets will relate messages to the people. Come on.
Have in these last days spoken unto us by his son.
By his who?
By his son.
So see and understand that he's saying that in these last days, though, he's spoken unto us by his son. Come on.
Whom he have appointed heir of all things,
Uh-huh.
by whom also he made the world.
So you see that? So the Messiah is heir of all things, meaning he has an inheritance coming. Come on.
Who being the brightness of his glory
Mm-hmm.
and the express image of his person.
And they express the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, meaning when it's talking about being the express image, meaning when you see the Messiah, you seen the Father, like he told Philip in the book of John, chapter 14, verse 9, when he was like, you've been with me this long, Philip, and you have not known me. You seen me, you seen the Father. You know what I'm saying? And he just letting them know that, no matter what likeness you might see me in, you know what I'm saying, or it in, the image of God is pure righteousness. That's the image of God. Not saying that the physical Messiah, when he was physically here on earth, that's how the Father looked. No, he was just saying that, like, you will find no darkness in me, you will never find darkness in the Father, because the Father is pure righteousness. He's pure light. and light and darkness at no time can dwell with each other, because the light expels darkness. So when he's saying he's the express image, it just means he is an exact representation of the pure righteousness that the Most High has himself. That's the image that he's talking about, pure righteousness. Come on.
And upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high.
So you see that? So soon as the Messiah got done purging our sins or cleansing us of our sins, he sat down immediately on the right hand of the majesty on high, or on the right hand of the Most High, like David said in Psalms 110. Come on.
Being made so much better than the angels, as he have by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they.
That's right. Come on.
For unto which of the angels said he at any time, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee?
Absolutely. So onto which of the angels at any point said he did? Because look, in the verse 4, he was saying he was made so much more better than the angels because he has inherited a much more better inheritance. So it's saying onto which of the angels said he at any time, this day have I begotten, I mean, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee, Judas. Give me Psalms 2 and 7.
Psalms 2 and 7 reads on this line. The king of the earth set themselves, and rulers take counsel together against the Lord, against his anointed, saying,
Is that that's
Oh, I'm sorry, you
Psalms
said
2?
you said just verse 7. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I will declare
Yep. Come on.
the Lord have said unto me, Thou art my son, this day I have begotten thee.
So you see that this is what Paul is quoting in his Hebrews 1 and 5. He's quoting Psalms 2 and 7. And he's gonna go and he's gonna do this throughout this whole book of Hebrews. He's gonna quote and establish uh the truth of the matter in what's called the Old Testament. He's gonna keep going back and keep showing you. See, onto which of the angels said he this, onto which of the angels said he this, showing you the how the Messiah was exalted. You know what I'm saying? And he was truly better than any of the angels. So come on, let's keep going, Levi.
Verse 5 continuing. And again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son.
Uh-huh.
And again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world, he said, And let all the angels of God worship him.
And let what?
All the angels of God worship him.
Okay, now hold that. Judas, give me Psalms 97 and verse 7. 97 in verse 7. Because again, all Paul doing is he's quoting the Old Testament. And he's gonna keep doing it throughout the whole book of Hebrews. He's gonna keep doing it, keep going back onto which of the angels said he is.
You
Or when
said
did he say this to somebody? So come on.
that was Psalms 97 and verse 7, correct?
Yes, sir.
Confound be all they that serve graven images, that boast themselves of idols.
Yeah.
Worship him, all ye gods.
Worship him, all ye gods, or worship him, all ye angels. When you look up the word God, it also can mean angels. So again, that's what Paul quoting from. Paul quoting from Psalms 97 and 7. So all right, let's keep rolling, Levi.
Okay. Verse 7. And of the angels he said, who maketh his angels spirits, and his ministers a flame of fire.
So you see that? So now he's separating you. He's showing you how throughout the scriptures, what was already written, the quote unquote Old Testament, it was already things written in there about the Messiah, prophetic things about the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? What we just read. Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. You know what I'm saying? When the Messiah first came into the world, it told all the angels to bow and to worship him. And now we're saying, but about the angels, he said, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. So Paul is quoting from Psalms 104:4. Get that for me, Judas. This is where he's quoting from, and he's showing you the difference between the Messiah and the angels. You know what I'm saying? Letting you know that he's just not no regular angel. And it's going to be very important moving forward because the Messiah is the chief high priest of the order of Melchizedek. And ain't no other high priest on earth. The Messiah is the the one and only high priest. So anybody else that's calling themselves a high priest is out of order. We have to keep that in mind, and we have to understand that it was him that died for our sins, and it's him that sits on the right hand of the Father. Nobody else. You got that for me, Judas?
What's he was saying? Psalms what now?
Psalms 104, verse 4.
Okay. All right. Psalms 104 and verse 4. Who
Uh-huh.
maketh his angels spirit, his majesty
His
a
ministers.
flame, his ministers a flaming fire.
So you see that there we go again. This what Paul was getting this from, and it's all drawing a distinction between the Son of God and the angels. Come on, saying that this is not no regular angel. This is the Son of God who came down here to die for the sins of the world. And then when he died, he rose the third day and went up into the heavens, and now he sit on the right hand of the Father. All right, what we at there, Levi? Judas, after that, give me Psalms 45, and we're gonna hit verse 6 and 7.
All right, we in the book of Hebrews, chapter 1 and verse 8. But unto the Son, he said, thy throne, O Yah, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom.
Uh-huh.
Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, Yah, even thy Yah,
So
have
you see
anointed.
that? So
Yes,
he's saying God, even thy God, letting you know that Christ himself even got a God. It's no different from what he say in Psalms 110. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemy thy footstool. But David being king in Jerusalem, who is the Lord between him and the Most High? Nobody but the Messiah. So even the same thing here when he's saying, therefore God, even thy God, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. See, it's telling you that the Most High anointed Christ above his fellows, above all the angels. He was anointed, just like David was anointed above all of his brethren. Come on. So, yeah, even David was anointed above all of his brethren. Come on.
have anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy
Uh-huh.
fellows.
Now hold it and Judas, give me that Psalms 45.
You said 6 and 7, correct?
Yeah.
Psalms 45, verse 6 reads, Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. Thy scepter of kingdom is a right scepter.
So you see that? So he let you know that his kingdom is forever and his throne is forever, and his scepter of his kingdom, or the rulership of his kingdom, is a rulership of righteousness. Come on.
Thou lovest righteousness and hatest wickedness. Therefore, thy God, having anointed thee with the oil of gladness above the fellows.
So you see that there it go again. The same thing. And this is what Paul is getting all of this from. Paul, all of his understanding is coming out of what we call the Old Testament. Paul is saying, as it is written, as it is written. Go here and check what David said here. Go and see what the Psalms said here. So he not just drawing or he not just grabbing none of this out of thin air and coming up with his own doctrine or anything. Like, nah, he grabbing all of this from scriptures. And he's letting it be known that it's a distinction between Christ and the angels, because he has been anointed with the oil of gladness above his fellows. So, all right, where we at, Levi?
We in verse 10, but real quick, I just wanted to note that it's mistakenly attributed to the Apostle Paul for Book of Hebrews, but it's actually not written by him, because Paul always would state where he writes something, he will always make known, yeah, this is me. But that's not coming from the Book of Hebrews. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
All right, so verse 10. And thou, Lord, in the beginning has laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thine hands.
So you see that? So he let you know that in the beginning, he laid the foundations of the earth and the heavens, or the works of his hands. Hold that, Judas, give me Psalms 102, 25 and 27. And look, and it's talking about the Messiah. When you link it up with John 1 and 1, Colossians 1:16 on down, it's all 12 on down, I believe. It's all talking about the Messiah. The Messiah was the one that laid the foundations of the earth, and the heavens were the works of his hands. See, because he was the only one that was created by the Father himself. That's why it calls him the only begotten of the Father. Everything else was created by the Messiah. Everything else that was created by him. That's why everything in creation will bow to him, because he's the creator of all things, except the Father. He the only one that was created by the Father. So read that down to 12, and then Judas, you gonna read that Psalms 102.
102 and what?
25 and 27, but I'm gonna let Levi read these next two. So read 10 through 12, Levi.
All right, verse 10 again. And thou, Lord, in the beginning has laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thine hands. They shall perish, but thou remainest, and they all shall wax old as doth a garment.
Yeah.
And as a vesture shalt thou fold them up, and they shall be changed, but thou art the same, and thy years shall not fail.
So you see that? So now hit that Psalms 102, and it's saying the same exact thing, letting you know that, see, Paul is consistent with it. Paul is consistent with it. He's staying consistent, old to new, new to old. He ain't changing, but he letting you know that, look, the Messiah ain't just no angel. You know what I'm saying? Look, he was the firstborn of all creation, and then he himself started to create. You know what I'm saying? Come on, what you got?
All right, we got Psalms 102, verse 25 reads, of old hast thou laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thy hands.
So you see that? So he letting you know, of old has thou laid the foundations of the earth. And when he talking about of old, when you start hearing things of old, it's going all the way back. See, I'm talking about back before Genesis 1:1, or back all the way back to Genesis 1:1, before what's called the creation of Adam and Eve, or the or the what would they call it? The remodeling of the earth,
Reboot.
the renewing of the earth, or the remodeling of the earth for Adam and Eve. He's talking about of old, because look, when he created Adam and Eve, or when he was creating the world for Adam and Eve, the foundation of the earth was already laid. He was just recreating it because he had to destroy it, because what was going on previously to it was wickedness. So he had to destroy it and then recreate it again in righteousness. And that's why he told Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. You see that? You don't tell anybody to replenish something if it wasn't something there already. So when he's talking about of old has thou laid the foundations of the earth, it's going all the way back to the beginning. That's why I call the Most High the Ancient of Days, because he's ancient to what we know as day one. So I go ahead and finish that up, Judas.
They shall perish, but thou shalt endure.
Uh-huh.
Yea, all of them shall wax old like a garment, as a vesture
Vesture.
shalt thou change them, and they shall be changed.
Uh-huh.
You want me to keep going all the way down?
Yeah, just hit that verse 27 and we done with it.
But thou art the same, and the years shall have no end.
So you see that? So he's the same, and his years shall have no end, even though the heavens will have an end. He's saying the Most High don't have no end. That's why he's Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. So, all right, where we at with that? Levi verse 13.
Yes, yeah. But to which of the angels said he at any time, sit on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool?
So you see that? So again, he's asking, I mean, the question again, drawing the distinction between the Messiah and the angels, onto which of them at any time said he sit down at your right, at my right hand, until I make thine enemies my footstool. You will never find it, because he never said it to any of the angels. Come on.
Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation?
Yeah, absolutely. So now let's go into chapter 2.
Did you want to hit that Psalms 110 for that precept?
No, we ain't gotta hit that right now. We ain't gotta hit that right now. Right on though. So all right, so with all that being said, now we finna hit chapter 2. Going to chapter 2. The whole chapter 1 was Paul explaining how the Messiah was anointed above his fellows, given a much better, more glorious inheritance than they was, and explaining the distinction between the two, between the angels and between the Messiah. Come on.
Chapter 2. Therefore, we ought to give the more earnest heed to the
Give the
things,
more what?
earnest heed.
The more earnest he, and when he's saying earnest, it's a serious thing. He letting you know that you have to be serious about this when he's telling you to give the more earnest heed. Come on.
To the things which we have heard,
Uh-huh.
lest at any time we should let them slip.
You should let them slip. Let what slip? Everything he just got done telling you about the Messiah. See, if you let that slip, then you can be in trouble. You can be in that, you can possibly be in trouble of damnation if you let these things slip. Come on.
For if the word spoken by angels was steadfast, and
Mm-hmm.
every transgression and disobedience received a just recompense of reward.
So you see that? So now you letting you know that see even the words that were spoken of by angels, talking about what was given from what Moses was talking about. It was given to Moses by angels, but he's saying that every word that they spoke to Moses, it was steadfast. Every transgression, every disobedience, it had a just reward or a just recompense of a reward. Come on.
How shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation,
Uh-huh.
which at the first began to be spoken by the Lord, and was confirmed unto us by them that heard him?
So you now understand what he's saying. Shoot, if every word that was spoken unto Moses, by angels, was fixed and steadfast, and every in my bad. It says, in every transgression and disobedience received a just recompense of reward. How shall we escape? How you gonna escape if you neglect so great salvation? Talking about the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that was given to Moses was given to him by angels. But this is the Son of God. You neglecting the salvation that came from the Son of God. Like, no, you don't think you're gonna escape. Don't think you're gonna escape. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
God also bearing them witness, both with signs and wonders, and with diverse miracles and
Mm-hmm.
gifts of the Holy Ghost, according to his own will.
Yeah, come on.
For unto the angels have he not put in subjection the world to come,
Mm-hmm.
whereof we speak. But one in a certain place testified, saying, what is man that thou art mindful of him?
Uh-huh.
Or the Son of Man that thou visitest him?
So you see that? So look, we talking about the world to come, and he asking a question, or he letting you, or he expounding on what on another scripture, and he's saying, for one in another place or in a certain place testify, saying, what is man that thou art mindful of him, or the Son of Man that thou visitest him? So Judas, give me Psalms 8. Psalms 8. And you're gonna start it in 4. But notice he said though, he did not put the world to come in subjection to the angels. So keep reading that, Levi, in verse 7. Come on, let's move on to verse 7.
Uh, verse 5. For unto the angels have he not put in subjection the world to come, whereof we speak. But one in a certain place testified, saying, what is man that thou art mindful of him? Or the Son of Man that thou visitest him? Thou madest him a little lower than the angels. Thou crownest him with the glory and honor, and didst set him over the works of thy hands.
So hold that right there. Oh, no. Read verse 8 and hold that, and then we're gonna read that Psalms 8.
Thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet. For in that he put all in subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see
Hold
not
on,
yet all.
hold it right there. Hold it right there, bro.
Okay,
Oh, hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. Oh, no. Read the end of that. Read the end of that. My bad.
I'm gonna read it over. Verse 8. Thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet. For in that he put all in subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see not yet all things put under him. There we go.
All right. Psalms 8 verse 4. What is man? Thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man.
My bad. Go back. Go back to and start that over for me, bro. My bad. My computer just went out.
Okay, verse 8. Chapter 8,
Yeah.
verse 4 reads, "What is man? Thou art mindful of him."
So that's the question. So he asks him, "What is man?" This David asking the question, "What is a man that you are mindful of him?" Talking about the Most High. Come on.
And the Son of Man, thou visits him.
Or the Son of Man that thou visitest him. Come on.
For thou hasn't made him a little lower than an angel's, and hasn't crowned him with the glory and honor.
So you see that? So most people would think that this talking about Adam. You know what I'm saying? For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels and has crowned him with glory and honor. Come on.
And thou madest him to have damnation over the works, dominion over the works of thy hand. Thou hast put all things under his foot,
Uh-huh.
all the sheep.
Hold it right there. Let's see. So you see, he's saying that the Most High put all things under his foot. So this is David. What Paul is doing is quoting David in Psalms 8. In Psalms 8, but now when we go back to this Hebrews 2, Paul is going to start breaking down the understanding and showing you how it's tied to the Messiah. How this was actually David in the spirit prophesying of the Messiah. So, all right, go ahead, Levi.
All right, verse 9. But we see Yahshua, who was made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death,
Uh-huh.
crowned with glory and honor,
So you see that? Crowned with glory and honor. Come on.
that he by the grace of Yah should taste death for every man.
Uh-huh.
For it became him, for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, in bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through suffering.
Absolutely. Because he was made perfect coming down here and in doing the things in the flesh that we endure. It made him a perfect high priest because he was tempted in all points, but he never succumbed to the temptation. Come on.
Verse 11. For both he that sanctified and they who are sanctified are all of one.
Absolutely. So, even though, you know what I'm saying, that Christ is doing the sanctifying and we are the ones that's being sanctified, yet we are all one. Come on.
For which cause he is not ashamed to call them brethren.
Not ashamed to call them what?
Brethren,
Uh-huh. Come on.
saying, I will declare thy name unto my brethren. In the midst of the church will I sing praise unto thee.
So hold that, Levi, and Judas, give me Psalms 22. Because notice it said that he is not ashamed to call them brethren. So Paul not just saying this for no reason. You know what I'm saying? He actually getting this from somewhere. So let me know when you got that, Judas. Psalms 22 and 22.
Psalms 22 and 22 reads, "I will declare thee name unto
Thy,
huh?
thy name.
Thy name unto my brethren
Unto my
and
who?
brethren."
So again, this David in the spirit prophesying about the Messiah, saying, I will declare thy name unto my brethren. Come on.
In the midst of the congregation will I praise thee.
So you see that? So that's what Paul getting this from. Come on. No, no,
Ye,
not you, Judas. Go ahead, Lee. My bad.
no, you all right.
Okay, verse 13. And again, I will put my trust in him. And again, behold, I and the children which God hath given me.
Uh-huh.
For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood,
Uh-huh.
He also himself likewise took part of the same,
So you see that? So he came down and he took part of the same, took part in becoming flesh and blood. Come on.
that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is, the devil,
Mm-hmm.
and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage.
Yep.
For verily, he took not on him the nature of angels,
Absolutely.
but he took on him the seed of Abraham.
Right. Absolutely. Meaning he came down and he made himself a little lower than the angels, like it was explaining in the verses above. He didn't come down here like, I mean, in a form of supernatural. He came down here like a man. Come on.
Wherefore, in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren.
So it behooved him, meaning, you know what I'm saying? It was fitting for him to be made like unto his brethren. He had no problem with being made like unto us. And notice it said made. It didn't say conceived like we was conceived. It said it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren. It's a big difference. A big difference. Being made and being conceived are two totally different things. So come on.
That he might be merciful and faithful high priest.
A faithful, a merciful, and a faithful what?
High priest.
A faithful high priest. Because why? The high priest was the one that would go into the Holy of Holies year after year to make a sacrifice first for himself and then for the sins of the people. You know what I'm saying? But the Messiah, being perfect, he just laid down his life for the people, and then he went to what's called the Holy of Holies. So now he can be, now he's merciful and he's faithful, because again, he was made just like we was made. Just like we got to deal with this flesh and blood, he had to deal with the flesh and blood too, but he was still without sin. Still without sin. So he understand what we going through. You know what I'm saying? He understand the trials and the tribulations that we face being in the flesh. And that's what makes him merciful, because he understands. So come on.
Faithful high priest in things pertaining to God,
Mm-hmm.
to make reconciliation for the sins of the people.
Uh-huh.
For in that he himself have suffered being tempted.
He did what? He himself have what?
Suffered being tempted.
So uh-huh.
He is able to succor them that are tempted.
So he's able to succor them that are tempted, meaning to aid or relief, to help those that are being tempted, because he suffered being tempted as well. Wasn't he not tempted when when he went to the wilderness in Matthew 4 and the devil came out and tempted him?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So he been through
Mhm.
through the temptations that we've been through, but he overcame it, showing us that it can be done. You know what I'm saying? So wherever we fall short, we got confidence that we got a faithful and merciful high priest. Not like none of these niggas. Nah, our high priest, he sits on the right hand of the Father, and he can make intercession for you directly to the Father, because he sit on his right hand.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hold it there, y'all. But we'll come back maybe tomorrow or maybe Tuesday, most high willing, and we'll hit a couple more chapters. But just so you can see that again, Paul was establishing uh the difference between the angels and the Messiah. How the Messiah has been elevated to a higher position than just a regular angel. So Gabriel, Raphael, Michael, he's above all of them. He sits directly on the right hand side of the Father. You know what I'm saying? But again, he was made lower than the angels. He was made like unto the seed of Abraham, suffered death, and was and rose up into the heavens, sat on the right hand of the Father, and is now the high priest. Is now the high priest after the order of Melchizedek. So with that being said, y'all, we're gonna hold it right there. Most High willing, we'll get back at this in a few days. So with that being said, all praises to the Most High. Shalom.
Jesus. Shalom.
Oh.